I am Dottie Berry, and I'm known as Coach B, the Google Hangout Maven. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're just hanging out. It's real, live, authentic. It's coming to you. Because here's the deal. Hangouts, whether they're like this where we're going to do a training and there's another person on, whether there's up to 10 on the Hangout, which you can't have 10. We went over that last week. However many you have, though, any number can be viewing this. So we can have unlimited people around the world viewing this right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn tonight, though. So let me just give you a rundown of how we're going to do this agenda. We're going to go through some real key tips for you to come into what I call Guru Dome. Okay? Guru Dome means G-U-R-U. I shared that with you last week, but just G-U-R-U. Yes, that means you've got to learn to be you. And that means you can't be Willie, you can't be me, you can't be Jeff or Neil or Michelangelo or Manny or anybody else. You've got to tap into and figure out who you are if you're going to be branding yourself and being in internet marketing and online marketing. And the same holds true for LinkedIn. And that's why I'm going to show you some different things tonight, really about how to maximize your profile and how it's set up and what to look for and how to come in with keywords, you know. So, yeah, I've been doing some things with online marketing for about 6 years. My background is that, gosh, how else do I say it? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. My business was Small Business of the Year in the United States in the ASI industry. That's Advertising Specialty Institute. And I coached women's basketball at the University of Kentucky. Probably a point of interest, I'll share something a little different, is I took a year-long journey in 2005 and 6 all around the country in a 13-foot trailer in a purple Suburban. Man, was that a trip. So anyway, for me, it's always been about connecting and engaging with people and transcending differences. Now, one of the things you're going to find with LinkedIn is that you don't want to just hang with the people that like the things you like. You know, it's a lot more interesting, Willie, don't you find, if you hang out with people that are different than you? What do you think about that?
Well, of course, yeah, you gain a lot more or several different insights on one particular item. So you definitely want to hang out with people and especially business people and business-minded people. And, you know, when you're evaluating a different situation, that you get different points of view. So I agree completely. Different people is a win.
Well, I always look at it this way. I mean, if I surrounded people that were exactly like me, it'd be like just talking to myself. I mean, why would I want to do that? I'm not going to learn anything new. In fact, I have this saying, Willie, and you may have heard this, and maybe you all out there have heard this, but people often say, oh, I'm a really big thinker. I think outside the box. Well, let me just ask you this right now. What box? The box is an illusion. And you can't think outside of something that's an illusion. Boy, doesn't, Willie, when you think about it that way, doesn't that just blow the walls down off of that saying?
It sure did. I heard it bang. My mind went boom.
I'm serious. This is no lie. I used to be one of those who prided myself. You know, I'm an outside of the box thinker, you know. Here I am. And I was at a party in Vancouver, BC, and I made that statement, and a lady looked me direct in the eyes, and she said, "What box?" Well, I'll tell you what, it was a light bulb moment for me. And it's not often that I kind of get hit between the eyes with a 2x4. That's something that makes me just sit up. But that was really profound, and I want people to think about that when you use that saying all the time. There really is no box, because if you create a box outside of which to think, the only thing you ever do is usually get a bigger or smaller box according to what you want to do or don't do. I mean, think about that. So if you just blow the walls down and realize that there is no box, the only thing that stops any of us is us. And one of the reasons I'm bringing up about diversity, in fact, I'll point to this on my wall back here. It says, diversity makes whole cloth, and diversity makes cloth whole. Because, Willie, I don't know if you've ever heard this. Have you ever heard that saying, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. People are always thinking they do it all on their own. I tell you, I always say to people, are you kidding me? Maybe you forgot that somebody made the boots and somebody made the straps. Now, none of us do anything on our own. Now, I'm sharing this with you because there's a method behind my madness that I'm coming to you with this night, as I'm going to talk about LinkedIn and how you project yourself and what you do and how you set it up. But the biggest mistake people make is not really identifying their guru dome. And that doesn't mean acting like something you're not. That means really getting in touch with your authentic self. And this is part of the reason, Willie, that I said last week, I'm going to share it again, that hangouts are so powerful. They are real and they are in the moment. And Willie, I know you and I both are so sick of people online hiding behind I don't know, hiding behind a domain name. You know, you can't find them, you can't see them, you don't know who they are. And people are looking for things that are real. So when you can tap into what's great about you, now I don't know what that's going to be for each person, but I know that I'm really saying, hey, I am the Google Hangout maven. I'm a Google Hangout coach. I've been doing that for the last year and a half. And I'm going to share you what's happening out of that. But the reason I'm mentioning diversity is because one of the best things on LinkedIn is to seek out people who are different than you. I mean, if you're an online marketer, don't just hook up and attach and connect with everybody that's in online marketing. Because guess what? There's a lot of people out there doing other things that would like to know about online marketing. So it's extremely important that you take a look at what you're doing, how your profile is set up. And I find that, you know, all of us are learning about this and learning new things to do with our LinkedIn profile, whether it's LinkedIn or any social media. Now, I do want to say this, you know, you can't be expert in the sense that the number one expert on everything. You know, I offer different things to people to look at so they can figure out what resonates with them. Now, Willie, you may go on to LinkedIn and you may not like it at all. How's it been for you so far?
Well, it's so funny you asked me that. I've had some experiences this morning with LinkedIn, with different individuals, and it's it's vast area of to meet a lot of business people in a different, in a variety of different businesses and whatnot. But you have to have a skill set of how to actually navigate through it, and how to attract and find people that not so much have the same mindset, but people that you can actually establish common ground with and have conversation with and establish relationship. On the other hand, it could be overwhelming if like you talked about the profile. There's a lot of people who don't do their profiles, and you sit and think about yourself and you're like, okay, how do I present myself here on LinkedIn or Facebook fan page or any other profiles? You have to come up with a format where you get yourself to where you're established and they can actually see you a certain way. And then all it is you actually communicating with that person, and then you build that foundation. So LinkedIn is a great tool, and you can meet tons and tons of people. I've gone through and actually did some navigating through it, and there's a lot there that actually I think I can actually help people with, as far as finding ways to help them with the Power Lead system. And on the opposite end, there's a lot of things I know I can get from others that are in LinkedIn too.
Yeah, well, thanks, Willie. So here's the thing, folks. It's like I said last week. You have to give CPR every day to your business. That means consistency produces results. You can't go really do a little dab over here, a little dab over there, a little dab over here, and expect to really get results. Consistency produces results. So if you're going to utilize the LinkedIn platform, and it doesn't matter that somebody else may tell you, look, that's not how you do anything. You don't even need to worry about social media. You need to go over here and do it this way. Well, that might work for them, but you need to figure out what works for you. And just because I share some strategies with you on Hangouts, like not only for training, but using the Hangout platform for shooting 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute, 4-minute videos, that doesn't mean that's what you have to do. What you have to understand is getting in touch with something that feeds your energy. I'm going to say that again. You got to get in touch with what feeds your energy. If you choose any strategy that does not feed your energy, you will not be able to give CPR to it every day. Consistency. You won't do it. Like if somebody tells you, oh, the way to do it is you've got to blog every day. Well, guess what? If you don't enjoy writing, you're not going to consistently do blog posts 4 and 5 times a week that it takes minimum and really have your niche down in a blog. So these things are very important to be thinking about how you're going to do this. Now, while we're doing this, last week we actually had some questions we asked, and I want you to consider this as we're going to be talking about looking at the profile and also utilizing video on LinkedIn. And the question was, what percentage of people, and you can even put this in there tonight because you might not have been on last week's Hangout, what percentage of you do you think, and did you do this, did you watch a YouTube video last week? Just put if you did, yes or no. There was a webinar done where there was 1,000 people, and they asked how many people had watched a YouTube video. I want you to put down there again this week, what percentage, now some of you already know it, but if you weren't on here, what percentage of people actually watched a YouTube video, okay? And then we said, and there's a point behind this because it's going to be important in looking at LinkedIn again and videos and where you put them and what you do here. But the next question to the 1,000 people on the webinar was, how many of you actually uploaded a video to YouTube? And guess what? The majority of the people had not uploaded. Now, those of you who are new, not the ones from last week's Hangout, what percentage of people do you think actually uploaded a video to YouTube? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's quite interesting, okay? And last we didn't have a winner in terms of somebody who bingo, bing, 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 hit the nail on the head, because I was going to give you my free 7 strategies for branding and landing on page 1 of Google. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, though, because we weren't able to do that. But let's go back to this. So here's the bottom line. I don't know whether you watched a YouTube video last week or not. I imagine most of you did. But I also imagine that the majority of you did not upload a video to YouTube. And what I'm saying here is you're missing out on a big opportunity, particularly if you will utilize the Google Hangout platform to do that video. In other words, rather than shooting it on your iPhone and having to upload it, and then all of you get all involved in tweaking it and editing it and all that kind of thing. No, you just get on there just like this and you shoot it. If you don't like it, just delete it and do it again. But it's very easy with the Google Hangout platform to get rankings, SEO rankings on page 1 of Google if you niche it down right. So that's what my 7 strategies teach you. So here's what I'm going to do. I have a freebie page, and if you go to, and I'll show it to you in a minute, if you go to coachbfreebies.com, you're going to be able to get into that, and you're going to be able to, now you'll have to put in your name and email. If you don't want it, don't worry about it. You know, it's no big deal. But that's where I'm also going to have the trainings I do each week so that you don't have to hunt all over YouTube and all that kind of thing. And so there's going to be some free things here for you. It's all about, you know, giving you some good value. Hey, Willie, I got a new AKA. I think I'm the Oprah of the internet because I'm loving to give away some value here. You know, I'm just loving to give some value away. So, you know,
since you called me out, so what was that again? I'm gonna put it in the chat wing.
Okay, it's
coachbfreebies.com.
Yeah, coachbfreebies, FREEBIES.com. Coachbfreebies. So what I'm saying is, that way you can get in there, and even if you didn't get close to the right answer, and the right answer, by the way, is 91% of the people, okay, watched the YouTube video last week, but only 11% uploaded one. Now, here's the great thing with Google Hangouts, you don't even have to quote-unquote upload it. You just have to do the Hangout, get on there, talk about whatever value, you know, content you want to share, and boom. Employ these 7 strategies to help you land, brand, and land on Google page 1 and you're off to the races, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cover this on LinkedIn. We're actually going to look at a couple of profiles. I'm going to give some tips. And then at the end of this Hangout tonight, we're going to do a review from last week in terms of this page right now that you're looking at. This page was given a share code to everybody who's a paid person in PLS. So let me just welcome all of you, first of all, okay? And if you are a guest of somebody who is in Power Lead System, they invited you here for a reason. They invited you because we have great trainings every single week. Last week it was all about Google Hangouts and how they can help you get ranking on page 1 of Google in your niche. This week we're diving into LinkedIn. We're doing a little bit roundabout way to get there, but trust me, hang on with us. We're going places. And so at the end, though, we're going to review from last week because I'm going to show you how if you're looking at this training tonight, you can actually go and save it so that you save this training tonight. Otherwise, if you take the share code, okay, the share code is something you submit. And all you do is attach a subdomain to that page that is provided for you through my share code. And that way, every Tuesday night, whatever Hangout's going on every Tuesday night from Coach B, that's going to show up on your page. But
I send it out to my list.
What's that?
I said I send it out to my list.
Yeah, there you go. So Willie's got it out to his list, so people are able to come on here tonight. But what if you say, well, gosh, I like that training from last week, or I like that training tonight? Then you're going to be able to make a copy of that page, and you can even edit some things on it. And as long as you copy that page before the next week's Hangout, that Hangout will be held in there. Now, the new one from each Tuesday night won't show up because that's from just the first share code page, okay? So let's get on here. I'm going to take it over to LinkedIn here, do a little screen share. Let me see here.
You remind me of Jeff from that the last time he did it. You kept getting close to the camera. Hey.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and make sure which one I want to get on here, okay?
Jeff had a lot of fun with that.
Let me just see here. Can you see that, Willie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's why I'm showing this one right now. I'm going to show you, this is the one that was going off. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because this is actually my page, PLS Gold Nuggets. Now, if you were just viewing and did not make a copy using the share code, then you're sitting there at hangoutswith.plsgoldnuggets.com. If you actually used the share code, then you created your own subdomain name, and anybody that's coming to your page can just go right down here, and I encourage you to do this, is to start a free trial. That's awesome. You can do that, okay? And so I just want to kind of draw your attention to that. That's why you're going to see that my page, I've got a little bit different background here, and so that shows you how you can do different things. But let's get over here to LinkedIn, and let me show you a few things. Okay, Willie, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so here's the thing. Lots of times when you go to a LinkedIn profile, and I'm going to go maybe right over here for just a second. There's Tony. Okay, you see Tony?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I saw Tony earlier.
Yeah. Tony was going to be on with us, but he was having just a little bit of difficulty there, so he's going to be watching right now, though. So in a minute after I go through some things, we're going to give Tony a little bit of help with his profile. But I want to just draw your attention to this right now. If you look at this, we've actually got a picture that you can put back here. In other words, most of you all are familiar with Facebook. And you know that on a Facebook business page, for instance, you can put a graphic up there, right? You're familiar with that, Willie?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can do the same thing here. And I believe this one is 1200 by 425. But I'll tell you what, when you opt in and get those freebies and you get things, I'm going to be putting a PDF together of some of the things I'm going to be covering tonight. I'll put those specifics in there. But you notice a real distinct thing. Willie, do you kind of get an idea of what I'm about the minute you look at my profile?
Oh, definitely. You can see all your background,
Yeah.
your current and previous and your education. Yes.
So here's what we're doing. You know, I use this, you know, ASI Small Business of the Year. I've got here a Google Hangout Maven. I mean, I'm really, really keen on things that I'm trying to brand as, okay? Because what you want to do is you want to present yourself as that guru, that G-U-R-U, okay? And here's the deal, Willie. It's not so much about what you really can do. It's the perception about what you can do. Now, that may sound a little bit backwards, but like this. In other words, you might be able to do great things, Willie, but if nobody knew you could do it, it wouldn't do any good, right?
That's true.
But if you create the perception that you can do it, and then somebody buys into it, guess what? You better be able to deliver. Does that make sense?
Oh, completely. Yes, it does.
So that's the thing. The perception of people creates reality. So when I'm creating this and really, you know, working as the Google Hangout coach and Google Hangout Maven, then I better be able to deliver. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this. Let me see if I can go over and find one particular gentleman. I'm looking for a. See, I had all these ones up so that I can show. Let me see if I can go back right here. Oh, okay. So let me just give you an example. This gentleman right here, Mike O'Neill, sharp, sharp guy. Now, when you look at his page, does that look pretty good, Willie?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. He says he's a dynamic speaker, author, trainer, helping sales teams sell more with LinkedIn. So he actually messaged me. I watched your video, Dottie. I feel like I know you. Let's see if we can talk Friday. Now, is that pretty good or is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So what he and I did, we actually got on a private hangout on Sunday and just got to know each other. You know, we weren't pitching. We were just getting to know each other. And he asked me who he could help introduce me to. And I found out who I might be able to introduce him to. And actually, as I started looking at him, I wrote him a message today, and I said, I think there's an opportunity we could do a JV, a joint venture together. So, you know, you just never know what's going to happen. And the important thing here is that you're going to start to hear from people as you really start to get your set up. Now, I want to draw your attention to something here. You see this right here? It says, who's viewed your profile? It says 13 in the last 3 days. 24% in the last 30 days improvement. Now, you know why that is, Willie?
Why is that?
Because I'm beginning to get serious about LinkedIn. And that's why I wanted to share some things with everybody tonight. Because here's the truth of it. Anytime, and I said this last week, but anytime you know one more thing than another person, you're their expert. I didn't say you were the #1 expert in the world. I'm not claiming to be the #1 expert in the world on LinkedIn. But I am claiming that I have some things that I can share with you tonight that are going to help you set up your profile better. And #1 thing is to do some type of picture back here. Now, he's a big speaker. So you see what he did? He got a big concert and put the picture behind there. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So here's another thing that I did. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to go to edit. And when I go to edit, I'm going to show you that it opens up these buttons. Do you see that, Willie? The little pin-looking thing?
Uh-huh.
So watch what I did. How did I get Dottie Berry with an asterisk on either side, a.k.a. Coach B? How did I do that? Well, I just went in here and I put in name first and then last. I put a.k.a. Coach B as my last name and Dottie Berry with those little stars around it on the front. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So then the next thing I want to do, a lot of people have like 10 different things up here, or it's real ambiguous. Let me just go see what Tony's got. He's got helping entrepreneur at helping people better themselves, mastermind coach. Well, here's the thing, Tony. I want you to just hear this out. You have to consider is anybody searching for those terms? Okay? Is anybody searching for those terms? We've also got another gentleman that was one in his profile looked at, Michael. Michael, you've got an extraordinary background. I will say this. Man, you ought to see everything for him, all that he's done. But he's got himself right up here as global entrepreneur, but there's really nothing in his background right here that's really pointing to that as much, I think, for where he's probably at this point in his life.
You want the message to be congruent? You want it all to basically match?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, and again, I don't expect you, Willie, to start branding as a Google Hangout maven unless that's what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you've got to really find out what is it you want to do. So if you'll notice, right up here, I'm going to say this. You want a couple of key terms. So my key things here are Google Hangout Coach, okay? And notice this. I even went and edited out my name and put in Google Hangout Coach, all right? So that it would be searchable, and I would come up at the top when people are searching. Now, I will say this, Willie. It's a smaller niche right now, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. People are still learning about Google Hangouts, so I want to own it. You know, I want it to be mine. So that's what I'm really trying to key on, and that's why you see how I've got this set up. Now, remember me saying that perception really creates things? Well, I want to share something with you all right now. I just gave that example of Mike O'Neill contacting me, okay? That's pretty good because let's just go back here, okay? He's in the Forbes top 50 influencer. You know, he's written books, okay? This guy's a rock star, you know, and he reached out to me and we're talking now. We're just forming that relationship. So that's good. Let me share something else that happened yesterday. Let me make sure I've got it. Network Marketing Magazine. George Madu, guy is awesome in the industry. Awesome. And he's got 165,000 people that follow network marketing, the network marketing, it's MLM networkmagazine.com. MLMnetworkmagazine.com. Willie, you might want to put that in the chat box down there. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Well, George contacted me yesterday, and he's been talking to me for, kind of about the last year, like I really want to do some things, you know. So guess what? We've got it set up. We're going to start doing some hangouts because George said, most people are like me, Dottie. He said, I've been on a couple of hangouts, but I don't really know how to do them. And I feel like we need to bring this training to the magazine, to the Network Marketing Magazine people. He believes, Willie, that they will grow this Network Marketing Magazine, the MLM, networkmagazine.com, to 1 million people in 2015. Once a month, George and I are going to be doing hangouts, writing articles. You know, pretty soon you'll see something popping up over here that's going to have about the Google Hangout Maven and what we're going to be doing together. So what I'm saying here is, if George had not been watching me for the last year, brand myself as a Google Hangout Maven, Willie, what do you think are the chances that he would have contacted me?
Oh, close to zero.
Close to zero, that's right.
Yeah.
So again, now let me say this. When you get your couple of terms, so really I'm about the online marketing thought leader, sales trainer, you know, blah, blah, blah. You want to take those key to terminologies that you're using, all right? And you want to have those 5 times in 5 different sections. Does that make sense, Willie, what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so let's just check it out. And I want you to look at geo-targeting, because when I put this in Bellingham and Seattle, Washington, it begins to geo-target that from a local perspective. So if you have a local business or you want to do business locally and connect with people. See, there's one great thing, Willie, about the internet and online marketing. It is not so that we never have to talk with people or we never have to meet people. In fact, it's just the opposite. Why are you wanting to do online marketing, Willie?
I want to learn a different skill. I want to reach out and actually have a better reach as far as people all over the world. I want to learn the process behind using the Google Hangout system and Power Lead system. And ultimately, I want to help people learn this. I know there's a need. Everyone out there wants to learn how to use this tool.
Yeah. And you know, Willie, I share with people, and I'll say this to everybody watching tonight. It's not a matter of if you're going to start building a list so that you can have people that will come to know you and come to like, know, and trust you. It's a matter of when. So I don't care if you're an offline business, like a mortgage broker or a real estate person, or you own a restaurant, or you own a sign shop or a printing shop. I don't care if you're an offline business or an online business. You need to be building a list of people interested in what you might be doing. And then again, the idea is not so that you never have to talk to people. It's so that you're able to talk to people who are interested in what you're offering because they're interested in that. Okay? It's very, very important there. So
Hey, Donnie, you mentioned geo-targeting. Is that like retargeting in Facebook?
Not exactly. Geo-targeting means from a local perspective. Let me give you this analysis. Let's say I'm going to be in California most of the winter. Okay. Now I'm going to have to make sure that I have set up somebody here in my area that continues to log in and do some posting from my IP address. Okay. Because when it if I put Bellingham and Seattle and they notice that all I ever do is log in from an IP in New York, they're not going to give that very much weight. Does that make sense?
Okay. Makes sense.
It's great to travel. I'm going to be in Greece next year doing some training, and I'm going to be in California and all like that. But I do have to realize that the way the way LinkedIn tracks it, that geo-targeting for local, is going to notice where I'm logging in from most of the time, okay? So what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to grab that. Does that make sense?
Yep, makes
sense.
So
if somebody were to start searching for an international business coach in Bellingham and Seattle, or an online marketing consultant, Google Hangout person, they would come across me. That's what we're looking for here. So very important that we do that. So even right here, let me just go ahead and if I save that and exit, then all those little things right there are going to go away. Now you're going to notice that right here it says Google Hangout. All right, it says where I work. Well, let's just go down here. I'm going to have to edit again. Now, let me start with this in the sections. In your summary, okay? Again, in this summary then, these key terms should be mentioned 5 times in 5 sections, okay? And summary section should be one of them. Does that make sense, Willie?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because, the searching is going on all the time for the keywords. About whatever it is that is your focus. So, and what you want to do, you want to have a summary here, okay? And then you want to have a little section where you give specialties of things that you do. And then here you can put in video or other type of slide share and different things like that. So this is very important. I call this is prime real estate, Willie. Now, you think about it. If you got a prime piece of real estate, let's say you owned a prime piece of property in Los Angeles, and you didn't have anything built on it, if you didn't at least have an advertising banner and rent out to advertise to people, you'd just be wasting your money, wouldn't you?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to have videos here. Now, this is where, let me just go through the different sections first, and then I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to show you where you put things in here. So this is the summary page. Again, you want to make sure that you're repeating your keywords 5 times, your 2 keywords, and 5 times in the 5 sections, okay? Extremely important here because you're trying to make yourself stand out, and you've got to decide what you're about. If you're all over the map there, it's not going to work. So let's go on down here, and we're going to have, this is my company, Training to Transform Global Enterprises, okay? So let's just look right here. I'm going to go to the edit button, all right? Do you see where it says name a company?
Yes, I do.
I named the company actually Google Hangout Coach. You know why I did that? Let's go back up here. Guess what shows up here? Now, you can't see it right now because I'm editing. But when I go down here, let me just go ahead and show you real quick. I'll just say done editing, just so that people get the connection of what I'm talking about here. You see where it says Google Hangout Coach now?
Oh, I see it. Yes,
Yeah.
underneath complete your profile.
Right. Well, if I'd had Training to Transform as the name of my company, which it is, would that be grabbing with my keyword or anything?
No, not really. That's not what
Yeah.
you're trying to do.
So you see how it's just the same thing as I did up here. I'm actually taking what they're giving me, and I'm not thinking outside of the box because the box doesn't exist. I'm blowing the walls of the box over and saying, there's a different way to do this and get some results from what you're doing. So if they just go to that right now, they would be clicking over to me, okay? So I'm going to go back down here. I'm going to go to edit again. And I'm just trying to share some little tips. We can not cover every single thing on LinkedIn tonight, okay? But I'm showing you some key things, I promise you, that you need to incorporate into what you're doing. So right there, all right, you'll notice that I've got more video down here. Now, right here, look at this again. I've got the company name as text Coach B to 90210. Now, why do you think I have that, Willie?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm going to tell you here. Let me go back up here and save it. Done editing. Okay. But I haven't had a printed card in 5 years, business card. I only have a digital card. And when people text Coach B to 90210, you know what a short code is, Willie?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when people put that short code instead of the phone number, in other words, instead of putting your phone number in or something, or you putting mine in, Willie, you can put in 90210, and in the message box, not in quotes, but just Coach B, all you have to do is put Coach B, and you push it, and that's going to get you all my information. Because, Willie, I don't know about you, but how many business cards you got laying on your desk or in some drawer somewhere, and they never got into any contact management system?
I've gone through hundreds of business cards, and yes, I think this is phenomenal. It's a great tool.
Well, so, you know, what that does is when people are able to do that, then they can immediately just download my business card, and all my contact information is right there for them. So that works out, you know, very well. But again, if I were to put the name of the company there, then this information would not show up here. And I want all my key information showing up right there, along with my picture here that tells what I'm doing. I don't think there's any doubt from anybody that I believe that I am the Google Hangout Maven. And do you think if somebody's going to be doing Google Hangouts that they might want to give me a ringy-ding and see see if I can help them? In fact, another guy from LinkedIn contacted me over on Facebook, and he said, hey, I'm wanting to learn about Google Hangouts, you know. So you know what I did? I first sent him the page from last week so that he could take a look at that training and see how you can brand and land on page 1 of Google. So this is extremely important. So another key thing I want to draw people's attention to, here's the benchmark barometer right there. If you do not have 500 connections, okay, that's sort of like the beginning gold standard. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you, for Pete's sake. It's kind of like not everybody has a list of 42,000 like Michelangelo. Is that phenomenal? And he knows how to work that list. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't want people to get upset because he didn't start with 42,000. He started with 0, just like everybody else. So you either sit there and understand how this gets done and start doing it. Remember, Willie, I said it's not a matter of if you're going to do this online marketing and, you know, collecting people's emails and contact information. It's a matter of when. Right. So this is what you want to aspire to. If you've got 0, start today. What you want to do is try to add about 25 people a day. And I'm going to give people 8 ways to grow your LinkedIn business here in a minute, okay? 8 ways to grow that, because you do want to do this. But setting up your profile properly, because when somebody comes there, they make a split decision on whether you're an influencer or not. Does that make sense, Willie?
Yes, it does.
And who do people want to hang out with?
Well, people that they admire, people that they know that they can network with.
Yeah.
So this information right here gives them a snapshot, and they'll determine within seconds. And we do that, you know, socially, face to face.
Absolutely. So here's the thing I want everybody to understand. Wherever you're at is not wrong or bad. It's just where you're at. There's no judgment about it. But you have to look at it, and you have to decide, what do you want to do? If you're going to do work on LinkedIn and make it work for you, then when people approach your page, they've got to have some sense of who you are immediately, okay, without going all the way down here. Guess what? If they like something up here, Willie, they're going to go on down, okay? That's all there is to it. And if they don't, they're going to move on. So this is very important, because you want to be able to grow it to about 25 people a day, and you want to identify probably 5 to 10 groups a day. If you do more than that, they're going to give you the slap down, okay? They're going to say you are, you know, over the top. you're just you're not taking the proper approach. So again, if you want to join groups, identify the groups and search in the search bar up there for groups and people, things like that. But I am going to give you 8 ways to grow your business. Again, diversity is key, okay? I got to keep saying that. You don't want to be aligned with everybody that's just like you, because if you are, and then they start connecting with your people, then you're all just fishing out of the same fishing pond. And what happens eventually to that, Willie?
It gets fished out.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, let me go down here and show you what's really important too. You'll notice that I've got posts. You can actually create posts. I'm going to show you one that happened today. Watch this. I click over here on this post. Guess what I was posting about, Willie?
Let me think. Maybe the hangout that we're doing right now?
Yeah. So look, Jim comes over, and he said, Dottie, let's talk about your video source. You know, so, and these are just others down here, you know, as people put their post up. So I know who Jim is, and I told him, hey, yeah, let's touch base tomorrow. So you see how that begins to happen, and you're getting, and all you do to write a new post is click on it right there. It's very, very easy to write a post. You can put a picture in, and the picture on this one, I had some notes over here I was putting for people. Let me just say this right here. Now look how easy this is. You know, this is a page that I just went into Power Lead System, and I just used a page to start writing up some notes, you know. See, be the guru expert, you know. So that big picture behind there, folks, take notes. I'm going to do, you know, PDF and everything. 1400 by 425. 640 by 400 on the post is the size picture you have to have. Make a note of this too. Row 1 over there in the summary, 16 by 9 versus row 2, 4 by 3. What does that mean? Let's go back. Let me make sure if I'm on the right one. Okay, let me get back over here. And I'm talking about the rows here. Watch this. You see the rows here?
Yes.
See, that's going to put 3 and this is going to put 2. All right? Now, here's an interesting thing. Most of the people are just putting in videos, okay? I am putting in a Power Lead system page several different times, all right? Now, here's what I want you to know that I found out, though. If you put one in that has a lead capture page, it will not work, all right? Let me say that again. If you put in one that has a lead capture page. Now, let me just show you right here. Here's where you go and put in videos. Let me go up here and edit again. This is where we start putting in our rich media. Rich media means, you know, things that link into our super media like videos or PowerPoints or PDFs or whatever. Watch this, Willie. You see right there? See that little button? Upload file or add a link. Okay? So what you want right here in your summary is some things that really key on you, all right? So let me just go, let me take it off. And so if you want to edit it, you can just click here. See, every time you put on that edit button, it puts a little pin, and you can go and edit that again. So you see that I'm using video or something that takes them to video. If you see up here, let me just put done editing because there's some things I can show you. These are some of my posts. Now watch this one. This goes to a post. Now watch. It talks about the strategies, the 7 strategies to brand and land on page 1. Now, people that go to that, okay, they're going to have to buy that, while the people that I gave it to tonight are going to get it for free. So, you know, but this is, again, this is a post. And I'm clicking to where it can go to videos and things. So, again, picture right there. I gave you the size.
Well, there's something else too, Dottie. You mentioned that you can't put use a Power Lead system, or we can put a lead capture page in that section. But if you look at it, you have access to your Facebook, and when people go over to Facebook, you're basically capturing their information there. So you will get their information.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, there's another way to so to speak, to skin the cat. Okay. So right here, if I click on this, all right, this talks about, I think that's the 18th. So if I go to read original, okay, look at that, what's going on.
Look at that, yeah.
So you see, it's not a lead capture, but guess where it's going?
Straight to the Hangout, where they can get access to your Facebook and they can get a free trial.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is really important. And so just so you'll know, you can find me on Facebook, YouTube. This is our Facebook Power Lead System group. So be sure and join the group. But, you know, just look at how, and I learned this as a workaround because, and let me say this is what's really important too. Some of my subdomains were connected, and of course we know that a subdomain it's HTTP, the www comes out, and whatever is your subdomain goes in there, and then it's dot in your domain name. Well, if your actual domain name is a lead capture page, it won't work either. So I had to figure all this out, like right here, this one right here. Oh, this one did work. That's pretty good.
Hi, I'm Dottie.
Yeah, I worked the other day and I got one that actually did work. So
wow,
that one did, but I've had several others and it'll say not working. So what I can tell you is stick with it, stick with it and see what you can figure out. I'm just going to click here. And that one's an actual video, all right? So be sure that you're putting in some different media on here, because it really will work for you, okay? And if you're not using your media on here, you're missing a golden opportunity, whether it's from doing post, okay? Or whether it's from coming down here and putting in videos or videos from your lead capture pages. And then just look down here. I've also got other ones, okay? So this is about live training as well. So all of this is really, really important. Now, let me just go through real quick. Gosh, there's so much to cover here on these on LinkedIn and everything. I hope people are getting some value from what we're sharing here, because it's really important. But number one, what can you do? 8 ways to grow your business. What if you have 0 people on your LinkedIn profile, Willie? Can you think of a way that you could possibly put somebody in the search bar and look for them or anything?
Yeah, but if you're on Facebook, you're going to have some people. I have friends from LinkedIn. I mean, from a Facebook to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could research or search a lot of different categories. Definitely.
Well, here's one thing you could do with those old biz cards you haven't done anything with. Take those names, okay? Take those names and start putting those names in the search bar up here. And see if you can find some of those people and connect with them, okay? Send them a request. Let them know that you want to connect with them. Now, the number 2 way is via email addresses, okay? So just kind of, you can add connections. Now, this is via email, okay? So I want people to take note. Biz cards, number 1, get those biz cards out and start putting those people's names in. Or email them, specifically email them if you've got a business card. Give them your LinkedIn profile link and ask to connect with them, okay? Couple of things that you can do there. Now, I'm going to give you some information in a minute also in terms of what you're actually going to say to them when you write them, okay? So let's hang on there. But number 2, do you see right here, Willie, how you can pull in those you already are in Gmail, Earthlink, or wherever they're at? You see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good way. Now, here's a third one. Current or former clients. Search for them. Now, I'm going to tell you the groups and which groups you approach, first of all, to add that 25 people a day, okay? But then I'm going to tell you what you say to them if you reach out to them, all right? So these are 2 different things right here. The 4th one would be current or former colleagues, okay? People you've been in business in some way with. So again, number 1 is biz cards. Number 2, the email addresses you're seeing here. Number 3, current or former clients. 4, current or former colleagues. People who also viewed, okay? I'm going to show you that in a minute. People similar to alumni. What if you went to high school or college with people? You can search for the alumni groups up here. And people you may know, all right? So let me just go back here. Because, people get stuck, Willie, with wanting to know, well, how do I start? I don't have enough people, okay? How do I get going? So let me just go back over here. And, if you're not familiar with some of the buttons up here, that's how you can get to groups, universities. You can search companies, put in that information so that you can get to some of these people, okay? And you're going to find your link also right below here, right when you're on, like if I click here, and then I click on my picture, you're going to notice that shows up right below here. Okay?
One thing I found too with that search bar, you can search different groups. You can put in a category, but you can drill down to specific teams if you want to also.
Absolutely. So again, if we go back and we look at people you may know right here, you can look at those people right there. You can go and you can go up here and go to invitations, answer some of those. Here, go in and messages. You know, people are going to start contacting you, and you can reach back out to them. If you want to go all the way over, let me just go here. If you put in, just so you'll know, linkedin.com/people, PYMK. PYMK. People you may know. That's going to bring up all these people. Okay? All these people right here. And you can reach out to any of them and connect with them, okay? And one of the things you want to do, Willie, is the people that are your number one connections, that's people that have accepted your invitation or they contacted you and you accepted theirs. There's a whole way that you really want to reach out and connect with them. And it's not I've got a product and a business. Could you please take a look at it? Okay?
No, you don't want to do that. You should lead out with some kind of value.
Yeah.
You know, something to where you can offer them something of value.
Absolutely. And so you know, here's the thing. It's really important that you get your page set up so that it looks as if you have some influence. And you start with the things that I shared with you. And the 8 ways to grow your business that I shared with you. I'm going to actually have in the free section that I was talking about. I'm going to go back over here for a second. Hang on one second. Whoops. On all caps. Why is that? Let me go back again. Can you see that, Willie?
Yes, I can. There you go. That's better.
Okay. So one thing you can see here. Whoops. This is one of our Power Lead System pages, and you know, just great. So when you get these free things, I'm going to also put together exactly what you write to somebody. Okay, exactly what you write to somebody. And I'm going to shoot that out to everybody who puts that in there this weekend, because I want people to know exactly what they might say to somebody. Do you know how you would approach somebody with a message, Willie?
No, I've seen an example, to be honest with you, but not off the top of my head, no.
Well, one of the things to do is to look at what your connection with them is and how you know them in some way. And to mention something that's related to time of the year. You know, so right now, if it's somebody in the U.S., you might say, you know, hope all's going well for you, and I know you're probably getting ready to Thanksgiving. You know, what are you going to be doing? And so you want to just connect with them first. The next thing you want to really do is you want to engage them in such a way that you let them know that you're interested in learning how you might help them in their business, and say something like, you know, lately I've been utilizing LinkedIn for networking, and I've found it just a great way to connect with people. Is there some way that I might know of what you're looking for or who you're trying to connect, so that as I'm connecting with people, I might be of service to you? Does that make sense, Willie?
Completely. Yes, it does.
Yeah. And so, in fact, it's not until the very end of the email that you might put something like, P.S. Just so you'll know, this is what I'm doing in business right now, and then you might come back with a PPS and say, hey, I'd love to offer you this free report that delivers great value about whatever it delivers. I love to let people know, hey, I would love to send you a free report that helps you understand more about what makes you tick. And most people are fascinated about their own personality. And would you like to check out this report and see how you can be an even greater person of influence? Because most people are trying to be a person of influence.
It's
So
true.
that way you've approached them, though, as in how can I help you? And you also say, Willie, look, if not now, if there's not anything I can help you with right now, please let me know in the future what that might be and who I could connect you with. Not who I can connect you with in my network, okay? This is very important. And you might say, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do that. Well, sure you can, because we never know who we're going to run into. But the connection we run into might not be anything that's going to work for us or them. But what if you've really paid attention to how you can help somebody else and they let you know, this is what I'm looking for? Do you think you could keep your eyes and ears open, Willie?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And some of that is the communication aspect and you listening. If you can listen and find out where their need is, and you help them with that need, they're going.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's what we're going to do now. We're running, right at the hour, and I want to go into a little bit of review about last week. But I do want to go over here to Tony and Michael's profiles. Okay. So I want you to notice this. Michael's already got 350. I want y'all to search for Michael. I want y'all to connect with him. I want y'all to search for Tony Ward. I want y'all to connect with him. He's got 337. Tony, you're doing a good job. You're on your way. Now, what Tony needs to do, in my estimation, and I shared this with him when I saw his Facebook profile. I said, Tony, it looks like all over the map. He's got independent distributor here, and then another independent distributor, and then another qualified distributor. See, I told him, I said, all of that's great, but people are going to get confused about what you're doing. Does that make sense, Willie?
Yes, it does. What popped in my mind was that guru statement that you say, GURU, not, some of these other brands, or I should say titles. So
Yeah.
he should have more about himself, I guess.
Yeah. And notice right here, Tony, just to give you positive feedback, I want to acknowledge you for having a great profile picture. This is very important. I want to point that out. Michael, I would say do something like Tony's done, okay, just a headshot. Okay, that's what we're looking for here, a headshot, okay? So don't really want a house in the back or anything like that. Just a headshot will do. Now, you'll notice that he's got some of a summary, but neither one of them are really utilizing that summary part. Does that make sense, Willie?
Yes, I see that.
Okay. Now, you want to really expand on that. And then I would suggest also, Tony, that you're going to want to put some more videos. It looks like you've got videos, but these aren't about you. These are about these companies. And I would recommend that you share something about yourself, okay? It says you're a mastermind coach. Then you've got to, if that's how you're going to, that could be a good way yourself, Tony. But you got to show them. When they come to this page, I see a turtle, and I don't see anything about being a mastermind coach. If you're a mastermind coach, I want to know it. I'll tell you one thing I see good about he speaks Russian. I know I saw that. Russian, look at that. Wow.
Wow.
That makes him very, very valuable. So, Michael, here's what I would do. If you speak Russian, get you a video up of you sharing some content in Russian. And you go up here and you put that video up here in your summary. That's really important information. I mean, I can't speak Russian. I can only speak English and Southern English. That's it for me. But I want you just to kind of look at, and Michael needs to use this valuable real estate. It's just a matter of them not really keying in and honing their brand and using some valuable real estate. And they certainly don't have a couple of keywords that are searchable when people start searching up here, okay? These are just some key things I wanted to point out. I told those guys I would take a quick look at those, but we're kind of running behind here, so I'm going to go and let's go back and look at last week. So here's what I'm sure back office up with Power Lead System.
Say again, Dottie. I lost you for a second.
Can you pull up your back office of Power Lead System? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I knew you were going to ask that. Give me a second.
Yeah, because here's what I want to do. Let me just switch gears here. So there is so much on LinkedIn. Let me say this. I hope you got something. You know, some of you might have already know what I shared, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know at what level anybody's at, but there are some key things, and while he's bringing that up, let me just review those. A couple of key phrases or wording, okay, that show up in that top part, and then that you use 5 times in 5 different sections, okay? Because you got to say them over and over again before they're going to be searched, okay? And you want to tag into the geo-targeting, you know, for your local areas. You want to make sure that you're reaching towards that 500 connections so that you're looked at as an influencer. I want to make sure that you're using that back picture piece to really use it as a place to help people know what you're about. Tony, I love your turtle, but I don't think that's what you are as a mastermind coach, okay? You don't want people saying, oh, he's slow as a turtle. That's not the kind of branding you want. But Tony's a great guy. I really enjoyed him being on right before we started. We're going to get him on a private hangout next week and teach him how to set up banners, you know, and things like this. So those are just some key things. Video, use the media, start doing some posts. I tried to show you just a couple things where people have already reached out to me and that the things are happening because I'm knowing who I am. I know that I am the Google Hangout Maven. That's who I am. And that's who I want to be. I love it. I love training. I love sharing. I love doing the videos. That's who I want to be. So you got it up there, Willie?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Give me one
what
more
we're
second.
going to do. Let me just say this. The share code some of you used to attach this page to a domain name. When you did that, every Tuesday, the Hangout training will automatically come up for you if you use that page, all right? Now, what happens, though, when you say, well, I want the training from last week or I want the training from this week? Well, you're going to have to make sure that you now make a copy of the original share code page. Let me say that again. You originally got a share code, and we have shared that in Facebook, all right? And when you submit that share code, and we're not going to go through all that right now because we covered that last week, but when you submit that share code, you're then able to take that page that shows up because you submit the share code and you attach it to a subdomain. Every Tuesday, that. But what if you want to keep one of the trainings? Well, you're going to have to copy that page, okay? Copy that page, and you're going to attach a new subdomain to it. And when you do that, that particular training is going to be in there, okay? Like the training this week. So, Willie, you got it up now?
I'm not on my original. No, I don't. I don't have it up now.
You can't log into the back office of Power Lead System?
Cannot get into my back office. No.
Okay, because if I take them in, I can't show them because the share code, I did the share code. And so let me just do this. Let me go over. Okay, let me go
Okay,
in.
wait a minute. I see the issue. I see the problem, Donnie. Hold on.
Okay,
I figured it out.
all righty. Because all we want to do, what I'm saying is, the share code page doesn't show up in my back office because I'm the one that created it, okay?
I got you.
I
I
want
got
to
you.
show in Willie's back office exactly what you do here. So you
Okay,
got
I
that?
have it. I got it now.
Okay, you go ahead and screen share, and I'm going to walk you through it.
Okay. I added too many numbers or letters.
Okay, so let me just get it onto you.
Okay. Do you see me?
Yes,
Do you see
yes,
my screen?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay. So last we already set you one up. In other words, if each week as it comes along, if before next you go in and make a copy of the page that was the page right now, then you will capture that training that's in there right now. Okay, so let's click on copy. All right, you see right above the one says click here to make a copy.
Okay.
Now he has already, before we do that, can you go and show them real quick, if somebody hasn't done this, where they submit their share code? Go over there to your account, over there to the right, and
Uh-huh.
go to where it says my sharing codes.
Uh, Wrong one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to see right there, all right, it says Coach B, PLS, gold nuggets, you know. So that right there, that code is what he put in that blank space. Point to the blank space, Willie.
Oh, here? Uh-huh.
Yeah. He originally put that code in there. All right. And then when he submitted it, you can see that it's showing up there. All right. Now we'll put that share code in the chat box again at the end of the Hangout. Okay.
Okay.
So, the reason I'm showing you this is I don't know who was on here last week and who wasn't. So now go back to websites, Willie, because we're going to just make a copy of that page. So because he made a copy, because he put in his share code, it gives him a page. Let's show him the page first, how it shows up before you copy anything. Okay, you see right there where it says Coach B Gold Nugget Tuesday Hangout? That's the page, okay? That's the page for the Tuesday Hangout. So Willie, all he did was click on use this after he set up a subdomain. But right now, he wants to copy that page, and that's what we're talking about now. So go up there and click on copy, Willie. And so what he's going to do, he's going to go down there and he's going to click on the radio button that says copy this page, and he's going to go down there and save it. All right, so he makes a copy. Now, right now what he's copying is the training with the LinkedIn training in it because the other one's already gone. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Really?
it does.
Okay, so I want you to call this one the LinkedIn training with sales page. So just
Just
take all
LinkedIn
that
training?
off. Yeah, just take it all off
All right.
because this isn't the Tuesday night thing training on this sales page. So LinkedIn training with sales page. Now, he's going to have to assign a domain name. So in step 2, he's going to click on the third radio button, and he's just going to call it LinkedIn with Willie G. You want to pick out the Willie G or the Willie Adams?
Willie G. That's good.
Okay, so he's going to LinkedIn. That's his subdomain, and he's going to pick out his domain with Willie G. So go down there and save that now. We'll put in the keywords and descriptions. You need to go in there and do that. We're not going to change the background. Now go to edit text. This is where we start doing a little customization, okay? So now, rather than live on Tuesdays, this is just going to be the LinkedIn training. So we're going to remove dates to every Tuesday because we made a copy of it. See, anytime you make a copy, then you take away the ability for that every Tuesday to show up in there. But you do, as long as you do it before next Tuesday, you'll have this training for yourself and be able to share it with people. And you can take off the date because that's not really pertinent now. And then you can say dot and Willie G. So you can start to brand yourself with me. So you could, yeah, you could just, after Google Hangout Maven, you can just put comma, or you can put it up there, Willie G.
How about that?
Might have to put that into the next.
There's too much editing right now. Let's just.
You can always do that and make the type smaller, but if you want to, just go down there by Maven and put a comma.
Well, this works.
Go ahead. And Willie G.
How about that?
Okay, so the point is, go ahead and go down there and save it. You can go back and change anything you want. Just go down there and save the whole thing. You use that right scroll bar, you're going to get down there to where it says save. The outside right scroll bar. Outside bar.
Oh.
Go over to your right, Willie.
Oops, my bad.
Yeah, no problem. And
okay.
Save that. Okay, now click on view. Now, what are we in right now, Willie? So just save that right now.
Okay. At the bottom?
Yeah, scroll back up. Yeah, no, I meant just turn the video off. So scroll back up.
Yeah, I already turned it on.
Okay, scroll back up to the top just so everybody can see it.
Here we go.
All righty then. So that's how you make a copy. Now, if week to week miss one of the trainings and you later want to go grab it, then you're going to have to get the code off of the YouTube video. Okay? So, Willie, let me go off of you real quick.
Okay.
Come back over here.
You have it?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. I hope that everybody was able to see how you're able to actually copy the page that stays the same every Tuesday night. That was a question that people had, and they thought if they made a copy of it, was, the Tuesday Hangout going to rotate? No, it won't. So this is really, really important. So we're kind of over here, Willie, so I don't want to take up too much more time. I'll show another time how you actually change the video code inside of there. But as long as you just that from week to week, you can make your own Hangout page and brand yourself with me and utilize those hangouts. The Hangouts. You share it with people. This is a tremendous value. So, Willie, what did you learn from the LinkedIn Hangout training tonight?
Are you kidding me? Oh, Dottie, one thing that's so important is setting up your profile the correct
Yeah.
way. And that's kind of like your attractant. And once people get there, then they identify, if they actually want to socialize with you and get to know you or not. But the more video you have, the more value you add, within your profile. So it's pretty interesting. I've learned a lot.
Hey, fantastic. Well, there's a whole lot to it, but I wanted to hit highlights and to give you some tips and how to build your list. We tried to give you a whole lot of information, so I hope it was valuable tonight for you. Willie, do you see any questions down there that we maybe need to answer before we, finish up here? I will tell you this. If we don't get them answered, I'll go back after I have dinner, and I'll go back and answer some questions, and feel free to reach out to me as well. And one thing you can do, if you click on the YouTube, and you're going to see that I have a special piece of code that allows you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll have access to all those videos. Hey, that's another training. Just and you can do that too. So anything, we can't show one night, can we, Willie?
No. I have one question here from Kate. It says,
Okay.
can you do another hangout on this, I guess, LinkedIn, but sort of the next level? I guess she's wanting to take it to a different level. So maybe an advanced version of training on LinkedIn?
Oh, yes. I'll be doing some other training on LinkedIn. Absolutely. There's a lot more. I just kind of wanted to start with one in the beginning, sweet, because we'll try to do some different things. So absolutely expect that we'll come back later for some more in-depth LinkedIn, and I hope to get some more people on with their profiles and actually take people through that. So yes, look for some more, no doubt about it. Okay.
Good. That's pretty much it. That's the only one that really stood out.
Okay. So thanks so much, Willie. Thanks everybody for being on here, whether you were live in person with the Google Hangout with Coach B and Willie G, or whether you watch it at a later time. We appreciate you being here, appreciate any feedback you can give us. If you like what you saw tonight, go over there in our Facebook group for Power Lead System and give it a hoop it up. And we'll look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And if you're in the U.S., please have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I can't tell you how grateful I am for each of you that come and spend time with us. I mean, I know your time's valuable. It really is. And that you spend it with us, that's Willie and myself, and we're here to help you in any way we can, because that's the real bottom line. If you begin to reach out and give value to people, they'll want to work with you. They'll want to hang with you. I mean, it's just that simple. So we are appreciative of you, and again, a happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the U.S., and a very special thank you and gratitude to everybody throughout the world. Okay, good night, everybody.
Thanksgiving. See you later.
Okay, bye.